Hello, everybody.
Hi.
I'm Rob,
I'm Gabe.
and we are a couple of armchair game designers who grew up playing video games, and we have a lot of thoughts and ideas, and
What is this input? What?
figured we'd get them out there. What is?
Hang on.
Is it recording the big picture?
I'm just gonna type it.
Nope, it's not. Oh.
Okay. We're playing as somebody.
So there's our. That's about what we should expect here. Yeah, we're just a couple of dudes who have grown up playing video games, and
What do you want?
we have a lot of conversations. I use White Branch. Yeah. We discovered that, boy, we spend an awful lot of time talking about video games and game design and what makes games good and bad, and figured, okay, why not share? And so here we are.
Yeah. There's not gonna be, I don't know, a lot of, hopefully too much digression. We're gonna try and stay on track, but there will be some silliness to it. We like to have fun, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
This started as the both of us independently wanted to do hobby projects on this, and we're like, why not do it together since we talk about this so much? Sure.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. So our first, I guess,
Foray.
There we go. Our first foray into this is Dark Souls 3, because we have both been longtime fans of the series. I think we both started with Dark Souls 2, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did too. So
Okay.
I think you actually convinced me to get it at some point. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know if it was me.
Or maybe I started playing it and then other people
I
started.
know you played the first game before I ever played Dark Souls.
Okay, well, I didn't play too much of the first game before I kind of just stopped playing it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Small note here. If I had started... This series is monumentally important to me. Me actually picking up this game, I relearned the satisfaction of a challenging game after being absolutely scared of hard games for a very long time.
Says the guy who has played like every Mega Man game.
Yeah, and that's why I said forgot. If I had started with the first game, I would never have liked the series. It absolutely would have put me off.
I think like I said, I started with the first game and I played Dark Souls 2. I tried Dark Souls 1, but I played Dark Souls 2. Oh God, hang on. All right, let's see if I can not fuck this up.
Here we are with Dark Souls 3, which is, I think in terms of just technical sense, is the hardest Dark Souls game because it is the fastest. It is the most demanding is a very good word.
Fucking. How much poison do you have? There we go.
I was about to say you're probably about to break it. Also,
Can I get it? Can I get it?
Nope.
Nope. No dodging.
And our first death to the giant crystal lizard. And,
Oh, come on.
Well, time to delete the profile and start over.
Yeah, pretty much. I could do it in our trial run.
Yeah. No.
God.
No, that's Gabe. If you heard if I had kept a tally of how many times I heard that, okay, I aced this in my practice run. Not from you, from other people doing this on YouTube.
That's whatever. I don't even care about the crystal lizard. If we really need a crystal titan, I'll come back to it.
I'm pretty sure we won't.
Yeah, at least not for a while.
I mean, unless you want to get our store spear, that's a good weapon, actually.
Yeah, all right.
But yeah, here we are in Dark Souls 3, which this game is a departure from the other two in some very significant ways. It certainly wasn't the game I was expecting after coming from Dark Souls 2 and then Dark Souls 1. What about you?
Well, my situation's a little different, just because the last Souls games I played before this was Bloodborne.
Bloodborne, right.
So this was everything I wanted and some.
Yeah. But yeah, here we are playing Dark Souls, and it's... I'm not going to assume anybody knows anything, but, like, Dark Souls came on the scene and became a big deal in a hurry. And that's because...
Yeah, dude on my left, right?
Maybe?
Oh, no. Okay.
No, it's
just the guy there.
There's firebombs on that corpse down there. And... I think a lot of why you don't have a kick with this weapon.
Oh no, I did a jump attack.
Oh yeah, you did.
I was trying to break his guard, but it wasn't enough.
Um,
Because I know I don't have a kick.
yeah, you have. Okay, which looks.
I have a really cool flip.
I was gonna say it looks really cool, but yeah, here we are with Dark Souls, which
What? I dodged.
Dark Souls became the blockbuster it is because really no other game like it. You know, it's something completely new. It takes inspiration, but it's.
Oh shit! Am I really going? What? I don't want to use an Estus.
Oh please! I've killed this guy without taking damage before.
Oh. All right.
But yeah, this game series absolutely changed the way I approach video games, and well, here we are with a game both of us are very familiar with and have a lot of thoughts about, especially because it's so different.
Yeah.
Than the other two.
Especially, yeah, like it stands out so starkly from Dark Souls 1 and 2, which honestly, like, it's weird saying that because all of the Souls games are really pretty unique to each other.
Agreed.
They have the same themes and the same you could argue the same story, but really they're so different from each other in how you play them. Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't get a
No, he just takes extra damage.
Fuck. Dodge. No. Oh, okay. And I think, like I said, I think both of us have very different opinions or first impressions of this game because we both came from, I would say, the two most different games
Agreed.
in the series. Me having... Oh, damn it, he was down. Me coming from Bloodborne, which is fast and frantic, and there's one shield in the game that is completely useless, and
the game makes fun of you for using it.
Yeah, the game makes fun of you for using it. And I love that game. The whole game is dodging. You've got the trick weapons that just... in my opinion, I think Bloodborne is the best game in the Soulsborne kind of series. Oh, wait. We have to make a correction. Neither of us have played Demon Souls.
Yeah, I'm going to try to pick up a copy of that, and
Yeah.
I'd like to play that. I think that one would be interesting to play for the channel, just because both of us will be going into it mostly blind.
Yeah. Neither of us were... neither of us had a PS3 when it was out, and there was no PC port of it, so...
Yeah.
And also worth mentioning, we have played the PC versions of all of these games. Of course, not Bloodborne, because there's not one. But, yeah, well, Sony's got to sell their system somehow, and damn it if they did. They got my money for it. Oh, shit, I lost my I lost my train of thought. But yeah, just like, I love Bloodborne. And you love Dark Souls 2.
Yeah, Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 is another controversial entry for a different reason. Mostly, I think, because it's compared to its predecessor. Dark Souls 1 is where the Demon Souls series kind of hit its stride, and really threw the match on the powder keg. Dark Souls 2 is often compared unfavorably to the first one because, and I love this description, I don't remember who said it, but it's perfect. The first game is a flawed masterpiece because it's a masterpiece, but it's definitely flawed. Dark Souls 2 is less of a masterpiece, but also less flawed. And the people who were I think a lot of the disappointment with the second game comes from people looking for the masterpiece and not finding it, but the gameplay in Dark Souls 2 is so much better. And again, as much as I love the series now, looks fine to me, yeah.
Figure?
Yeah.
Okay.
As much as I love the series now, if I had started with Dark Souls 1 and its downright primitive sort of design, I would have been completely turned off. Yeah.
We don't need to buy anything.
No.
There's nothing we need to do here, right?
No.
Okay, just go upstairs and
we
get
should
the Estus shard.
And the Silver Serpent Ring.
Right, yes.
Alright, so time to screw up this sort of, kind of... Okay. This is going to look like a glitch jump.
It kind of is.
See, the thing about...
But they haven't patched it out.
See, that's the thing about Dark Souls, is that Dark Souls is a masterfully crafted game, top to bottom.
Son of a bitch.
There's really no such thing as an exploit unless you're talking about, like, the weird parry glitch people use to walk through the sky in Dark Souls 2.
Oh my god.
But yeah, this game is absolutely rife with secrets, and these games are true what you call a Metroidvania game. What you call a Metroidvania game, where it's basically anywhere you can actually handle the challenge put in front of you is totally legitimate. It's not just non-linear. You are pretty much the only one in control of where you go at any given time. And because of that, it's really easy for them to hide secrets and things to discover.
Oh, what? Okay.
Including the roof jump there. Normally, you're supposed to come back here and buy a key.
What? What did I just do?
You did nothing.
Hang on.
Leave.
Yeah.
Normally, you're supposed to come back here and buy a key, but if you find that jump spot, you can save yourself having to buy the key and come here early. That's another thing about Dark Souls, like the series as a whole, its difficulty is that I feel like the game's, quote, normal mode is actually using all the tricks that you can potentially use. Not exploits exactly. Those things are baked in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in the first game, the Asylum Demon. You know, that's sort of kind of a legitimate boss, but...
Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, so like the game presents you with the Asylum Demon and immediately says... Oh, you're not supposed to fight it. You're supposed to run away.
Yeah.
And, like, nowhere else in the game are you supposed to run away from a boss. Like,
Yes.
that's not really... it's like, hey, these are the kind of monsters in the game, but you're not ready for them yet.
Yeah.
And so it gives you an out.
Well, and then once you're done with the Asylum Demon in the first game, you come back around, and you can exploit a trick in the arena that it places directly in front of you, where you'd have to be blind to miss it, so where you can fight the boss with half health. You can reduce the boss's health by half just immediately.
Yeah, and also, I mean, it's a good way of the game teaching you about plunging attacks, which are useful 1 out of 10 times. But, I mean, like, and the other times you die because you hit the ground and you just go splat.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game basically hands you that boss fight, because honestly, like, if you went into that fight with the gear you have and he had full health, he still wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
But the fact that the game gives it to you with
No weapon.
Yeah.
The game hasn't given you your weapon yet.
Right.
So you're like, the hell, I'm supposed to fight a boss with no weapons. What?
Yeah, and then when you do have a weapon, you
oh, jeez.
you're given the boss fight for free, basically.
Yeah.
Not for free, but I mean, I totally understand. I'm not gonna sit here and say I've never died to the Asylum Demon. Of course I have.
Same.
Everybody messes up. Everybody misses a dodge. You can watch the best player play this game, and he could dodge 10 times and miss once. You know, it's just gonna happen. But it's still not really a test of your strength. And then Dark Souls 2 did away with the boss fight at the beginning. And I think it worked for Dark Souls 2.
I agree. That's the one I recommend people get into the series on, because it is the one that does the best job explaining itself and easing you in.
Actually, I need to correct myself, because they didn't completely do away with the boss fight. They actually put in 2, and they're totally optional. The 3 Cyclops.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, there's one before you make your character, and then
Right.
also kill him. Good.
Yeah.
Well, we have firebombs. You could probably get the Titanite out of it.
True.
Oh no, you get a longbow from it.
No, that's...
Oh no, you get a longbow right here.
Yeah, the bow's on this course.
No, yeah. Anyways, yeah, and then so Bloodborne. We're definitely gonna play Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I know we're gonna play Bloodborne.
Yeah, I've actually never played Bloodborne. That's something else we'd like to do with the channel, is do some games that one of us has played extensively or is very familiar with, but have the other player play it, sort of guided by the other. I grew up playing Mega Man. The first game I ever beat was Mega Man 3 when I was 3 years old. I have no idea how I managed that in retrospect. But
what happened since then?
I
ask myself that all the time.
I couldn't freaking tell you. Like,
Yeah.
Going back and playing this, the only thing I can come up with is because I had a lot less games back then, so I was playing it more often.
True. Yeah. Yeah, like we could back then when you got frustrated with the game, you couldn't just put it down and play a different game.
Yeah.
You just had the game.
Yeah.
You had whatever you got from Blockbuster.
Yep. Yeah. And
Yeah.
but yeah, I grew up playing Mega Man top to bottom, front to back. I played...
Oh, never mind.
What old Mega Man games did I own in the retro era? 1, 3, X1, Legends. in its Mega Man 64 incarnation, which is the exact same.
Hey, next time we get to a bonfire, go back to the blacksmith. I forgot to get the Estus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oops. But anyways.
Oh.
Oh, we didn't kill the lantern guy. Oh, well.
No, we didn't.
But so Bloodborne starts you off, and like this is right off the bat. I don't know. It does something very different from the other Souls games. So every Souls game starts differently.
Yeah.
And what was
that was
trucks?
Truck.
They all expect something different from the player at the beginning. But 3 is the only one that puts you up against an actual boss, like a legitimate
boss. Like,
yeah, you've got gear. You're expects you, like, no, you have to beat this guy.
Yeah.
And it really is a gatekeeper.
Yeah.
It really is if you can't beat this guy, you're not going to finish the game.
But it's not like, as tutorial bosses go, you must achieve, because okay, we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but that boss's name is Iudex Gundyr, and Iudex is Latin for judge. That boss judges if you're actually skilled enough to play this game. Because if you can't beat that boss, you don't get to the rest of the game. And that is Dark Souls' thing. I mentioned that Dark Souls is important to me because it re-taught me how to appreciate challenging games. I grew up on the NES and the Super Nintendo back when games were hard because that's just how they were. A fair bit of them were... Like, the Mega Man games were fairly short in general. Most Mega Man games have 12 levels. That doesn't sound like much. It ends up being a lot more longevity when it takes you a whole lot of stabs to actually beat all of the game all at once.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've seen you go through, just, you've come over and beaten X.
Yeah, just casually.
In an afternoon.
Yeah, I was just like, whatever, man.
Yeah, not even really trying, just, yeah.
And...
Just because once you know those games inside and out, like, there's not that much to them.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them are execution challenges. There's some execution challenge to it, which is the reason why even people who know Dark Souls, because one of the most important things about Dark Souls is knowledge of the game.
Yeah.
But you can still screw it up. But yeah, I for my part started with hard games that were hard because games were hard back then. And as games became more advanced, I'm one of those people that thinks games are easier these days. They just kind of are. But a lot of games that are hard, yeah, I know. A lot of games that are difficult kind of do it the wrong way, where they're just difficult. And Dark Souls knows the difference between difficult and challenging. A challenge is satisfying to overcome. It puts it in front of you and expects you to... It puts it in front of you, gives you all the tools, and says that you have to make up the difference. You have to be skilled enough or savvy enough to pull this off. Yeah,
we're not saying anything revolutionary or new or something that hasn't been said about Dark Souls before by saying when you the thing any Dark Souls player will tell you is when you die in Dark Souls, you know why you died.
Yep.
You know what happened. You know what you did. Don't worry about it. It's an axe
right now. So that chest is a mimic that gives you a very powerful early game weapon that we're not going to use. So never mind, because the mimics are practically mini bosses in this game.
Yeah.